All right, welcome, guys. This is Breakfast with the Brand, your number one podcast for all business related information. Listen, if you're listening to us live, go ahead and put it in the comments where are you listening in from. Right away, I see we have one person tuning in from Atlanta. Shout out to Lawana Bradford. Lawana, how you doing? Put it in the comments. And of course, we have Bobby Jackson, the phenomenal Bobby Jackson. And Bobby, I think it's No Tie Thursday, is it?
It is, Junior, and thank you for the phenomenal introduction. I'm excited to dive deep. I saw some things that we had on the agenda, some sales, some marketing, some branding. So it's going to be a phenomenal conversation.
Yes, it always is. It always is. Like these topics, we can never talk too much about them because they go so deep. I'm very interested. I hope you have a couple questions for me. I
Yes,
know
I do.
I haven't been on every single breakfast with a brand, but when I do come on, I like to give as much information as possible. I like to help as many people as I can. So guys, listen. If you have any questions about branding, coaching, closing, you know what we do at the brand. We do all things business related, all the skills that you need to take your business to the next level. Go ahead and make sure you put those comments or those questions in the comments. So, Bobby, before we get started, I want to send a quick shout out. I see we have Bradley. So, shout out to Bradley. Bradley's tuning in from the great state of Texas. We have Joel tuning in from Knoxville. And we have also, oh, yeah, so Dr. Michelle tuning in from Detroit. All right, so today's going to be absolutely phenomenal, Bobby. But before we get into it, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm great. I feel like this week, though, is flying. Like it's the third quarter, and I feel
Yeah.
like this month is just taking off. It's the seventh, 7 days into the month already. So I'm feeling like hyperdrive. I'm feeling like, wow, if we're not aggressive and we're not getting after it every day, this month will get away from
Bro, I feel like the whole year is already over. I felt like that last month. Let me
me.
say
Yeah.
something. I'm so funny. I felt like I woke up the other day and like, hold on, it's the end of February. I'm like, didn't we just start 2024? And next thing you know, the whole year is gone. Before you blink your eye, the whole year is gone, guys. So what are some of the goals that you're working on right now? I know I'm working on a few goals, and I've also had to, enhance my skill of patience because some things they just take time. They just take time, and we like things to move quick. Like if you're a business owner, you like speed, but I think patience is really and truly is just what do we do in the meantime while we wait. So sometimes we have to keep ourselves occupied, growing other parts of the business, etc., and just waiting on things that just there's nothing you could do about it. It just take time. But I definitely resonate with what you're saying, Bobby. I feel like the entire year is going by pretty quickly.
Wow. I'm ready to jump right into these questions. Do you think we should go to a break first, or should we dive into the first question?
That's interesting. Guys, what do you think? Let's ask the crowd what they think. What do you think? Put a number one if you want us to get right to the questions. Put a number two if you think we should go to a quick break. Okay. And if I don't see those numbers coming in, I'm going to default to a break. Just let you know. But if you think we should jump into a question, put a number one. Okay, I see a number one. So Bradley put in number one. Anybody else? Okay, Michelle. Okay. So all right, Bobby. So let's get to the questions. We're gonna give the people what they want. I'll let
Nice.
you lead it, man.
People have chosen. So my first question is a branding question. And
Okay.
I know a lot of people in the audience are building brands, they're growing their companies, and they're really trying to position their brand. So my question for you is, what could you do as a new brand, a new personal brand, to grow your brand awareness faster? Because a lot of people have brands. A lot of
Yeah.
people got stuff going on out there, but the awareness, the gravitas, the weight of the brand just isn't carrying the way they want it to. So what can they do to get that brand awareness up?
Yeah, man, you could answer that question in a couple ways. So there's like, okay, what can you do on your own? So what you could do on your own, well, there's a framework called more, better, and new. So everybody write this down. Write down more, comma, better, comma, and new. So I see a lot of business owners always trying new things, and it's great to try new things. But there is such a thing as the undisciplined pursuit of the new. So if you're a visionary, you most likely suffer from what we call the undisciplined pursuit of the new. So you have a new idea every single day. You're doing something new every day. Every day you did one plan on Monday. On Wednesday, you forgot about the plan. The plan gets boring. You're doing something else. You have a brilliant idea. And this is the thing. We think every single idea we have as visionaries is the best idea. Okay. But that's not the way you grow a business. So it's about doing more. I think look, Michelle put it in there. So it's about doing more. So you have to do more. So simple to answer your question, Bobby. Just do more. So you have to do more content, produce more content. That's the simplest way. So like you should know how many content pieces are you producing per week. Like if you don't know how much you're producing, then that's the first thing you need to find out. So you need to find out how many pieces of content am I producing per week, and if that number is, let's say average business owner does like 10 to 15 pieces, because if you have, let's say, Facebook, you have Instagram, and then you have LinkedIn, and most likely you're doing like one piece of content per day, Monday to Friday, for all three platforms. So you're doing like 15 pieces of content. The easiest way, if you want to 10x the eyeballs on your content, you have to find a way to do 150 pieces. That's the simplest way. Okay, that's it. Like as long as you 10x your output, you will 10x, or your input, you will 10x your output. That's it. That's the simplest way. So what is your goal right now? Do you want to double your viewership? Do you want to triple it? Just triple your activity and you will triple your viewership. That's the simplest way. The next way is to, of course, partner with other people that have a bigger brand than you do, and then they have an audience. You can benefit from the eyeballs of their audience. So that means getting on podcasts, so podcasts like these and other podcasts, as well as doing like, I think LinkedIn has this thing that what they do now, where it's called contributor articles. So you can contribute onto other articles on LinkedIn, and that's actually how you get the top voice badges on LinkedIn. So you can do that as well. So it gives you an opportunity for other people to know you. Also, I'll say, just be smart. Just be smart. Get on more platforms. So if you get on more platforms, you do more content. Focus on the platforms where the algorithm is, really, really easy to get a lot of views. So like TikTok is a great place to get a lot of views. I've heard a lot of older folks say, "Hey, we don't do TikTok. TikTok is for the kids." Now, let me tell you something. All of the older folks, they're now going over to TikTok. So there's no such thing as this is for the kids. So find out what platforms are working, and then you just go there. And that would be the simplest way, Bobby. So just to recap, number one, you have to do more. So set your goal. If you want to double your viewership, double the number of content pieces that you're producing per week. And then of course you could leverage the audiences of other people. And that's how you do that.
Man, I think they are ready for a break now. But before we hit that, I just want to give some feedback, like a very short story I heard from Zig Ziglar. He had this thing that they would do called like the end of the year push or something like that. And at the end of every year, they would get everybody involved, their family, their friends, their kids, their pastors, everybody that they knew. And he had a sales organization, by the way. And he would try to sell as much product as humanly possible. And he'd do this for about 7 days. But he would give himself a month of marketing, right? To his family, to his wife, to his kids. He's like, hey guys, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. And then for 1 week, they just hit it. And what he found was that when he would just go gung-ho, he'd pull the top off of his sales funnel and off of his sales opportunities. And that was something that he did regularly to continue to push the envelope on what he was capable of doing in the marketplace. So I say that to say this, maybe now might be a good time for you to look at what you've done in the past, get yourself in a certain frame of mind where you're going to say, I'm going to just crank out more content than I've ever cranked out in my life. And then say 1 week to do it and see what happens. And from there, you'll be able to set a new norm. You'll have a new, that's what I'm capable of. And then it's just a matter of how close can you get to that max number.
There's slow growth and then there's scale. There's incremental growth and then there's exponential growth. What I want to talk to you about is adding a zero to you and experiencing exponential scale. Incremental growth says 1 + 1 is 2. Exponential growth says 1 + 0 is 10. Incremental growth says 2 + 2 is 4. Exponential growth says 5 + 0 is 50. Guys, listen, when you add a zero to you, You can add a zero to the marketplace. You can add a zero to the value that you bring. So you can add a zero to your family, add a zero to your legacy. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about incremental, we're talking about exponential. I always say that business is a spiritual game. Just imagine when you combine your skills, your values, your abilities, your talents to something bigger than you, something greater than you, something like the power of exponential. That is adding a zero. Add a zero to your competence, add a zero to your confidence. This is about adding a zero in your life, your value, your industry, and your mission. Let's grow. In brand clarity, exactly what you're gonna get is what it sounds like. Clarity for your brand. What is your color? What is your logo? What is your unique value proposition? Who are you speaking to? Why? How should you speak to them? How should I position myself? That's what you're gonna learn in brand clarity. You need other people to have the same clarity on your brand that you do. But this is the gap. If you don't have clarity on your brand, then no one else is gonna have clarity on your brand either. It's like messaging. Your message sounds clear to you, but is your end user receiving the value that you're trying to provide? I guarantee you that after you go through brand clarity, they will, and so will you. And that's how you'll scale your brand.
All right, guys. So we are back. Before we went to that break, Bobby gave a really, really good tip. Bobby, I wanted to add on to what you just said. Um, just a little strategy. Okay, guys, this is one for free. Okay, so how do you produce more content without doing more work? Because I know we probably have some people listening, like, okay, does that mean I have to double my work? No, you don't have to double your work. You just have to do it differently. So I advise clients to select one day. So let's say like a Monday. You select one day during the month, okay? And you say on this day is just gonna be a content day. So you're literally gonna record yourself doing long form video, or maybe just answering a series of questions. So let's say you have like 20 questions that you just answer. It might take you like an hour. It doesn't have to be long. It could be literally 1 minute. Take you an hour. You go through. You do 20 minutes of video, or you do one long form recording like this recording or like something else. And then there are AI type softwares that will chop up those recordings for you. And there are softwares that will even tell you which one of those clips are most likely to go viral. So you could record like a 1 minute, well, a 1 hour video, chop it up into like 20 different pieces, and you have 20 more pieces of content for 1 hours of work. Okay. So that's just one tip. All right. Just wanted to give you that. Also, another great tip is to repurpose your content by pulling out quotes from your videos. So maybe there was a particular video that people resonated with, and there was a particular section. All you need to do is take that quotation from that video, maybe like one sentence, you turn it into a picture, or you turn it into a still shot. You could also turn it into a tweet. You could take a tweet, turn the tweet into a picture, take the picture, turn it into a video topic, record a long form video, and chop it up back into short form reels or short form pieces of content. So there's multiple ways to flip content. And if you want to learn more about that, join me inside the leverage. Okay, so that one was for free. If you want to learn more, come to the leadership leverage. But let's get going, Bobby. What else you have
Man,
for me, man?
yeah, I have a bit of a sales and marketing question here, but you just,
Okay.
man, that was like, you need to be a marketing
Yeah,
technician.
that's the simple stuff, man. That's the
Yeah.
simple stuff, man. Yeah.
So this next question has to do with email lists. So a lot
Okay.
of people know that you can make a ton of money on an email list. A lot of people know that you want to warm your people up on an email list and stuff like that. So I've got a two-part question, but we're going to lean into those that already have an email list first, and then I'm going to ask the question about those that don't have an email list. So if you have an email list and you need to wake your email list up because it's losing life, because I know there's a lot of people out there that have been accumulating emails over the years, especially if they've been in business for a little while and they've got, say, hundreds of emails and they haven't touched these guys in forever. What's a strategy that they can use to start waking that email list up again? Because there's probably a lot of repeat business that could be done that's just lying dormant. How could they go about doing that?
That's a great question, Bobby. So there's actually a specific name for that kind of sequence. I think it's called a remarketing or re-nurturing sequence. But basically, it's a series of emails where you let the list know that, hey, I'm doing something different. So for example, you might say, well, hey guys, I'm about to launch X, Y, and Z. If you're still active, click this button to let me know, or click this button below to resubscribe if you're still interested in the content. So that's what you do. That's really what you do. Now you send out, like, let's say between 6 to 8 emails, and the reality is not everybody's going to open that email. Like, you are going to lose some people because people are just busy and they're always doing other things, which is why you need to have the systems in place so that when people come to your system, they are always being nurtured. So you never have to go back and re-nurture them. So you are going to lose a few people, but you are going to also get people that will click that button and resubscribe, stating that, yes, I'm still interested in your content and I want to learn more. So that's what you do, man. You have to just let people know that you're still alive. And I'll make it very simple for the people that are not, that don't consider themselves to be marketers. So basically, if you if you have a, like, because this is like, the email list is like a relationship, right? So I want you to imagine, let's say you're in a relationship with somebody. Would you guys be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't talk to you? Yes or no? Put it in the comments, because that's what it is. Like, when somebody joins your list, you're starting a relationship with them. But if you don't talk to them, like, how many of you would be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't talk to you? With, like, no communication? You wouldn't, right? So it's the same thing. If you're getting emails right now and you're not talking to your list, you're not sending them emails, you're not communicating with them, eventually that's going to spoil your relationship. Like, you're not gonna, like, there's no relationship without communication. So what you have to do now is you have to go back to that person or back to those people, and you have to say, hey, I have a plan, all right? I have a vision. I know you're with me. I just want to know if you're still on board, if you still want to continue getting emails, if you still want to continue getting communication. This is the plan that I have for the future. So if you click below and you resubscribe, you can expect to get, let's say, free gifts. You can expect to get pertinent information. You can expect to receive 1 to 2 emails per day talking about X, Y, and Z, whatever your niche is. And that's how you do it. Some people will come on, some people will not. And that's just the reality of it. But after that, Bobby, what I would say is, once you make that move, like, start to put stuff in place, like email newsletters, meaning automatic emails, so that the people who resubscribe can then start receiving communication, so that the same thing doesn't happen again. And then the new people coming to the list can receive communication, so that they don't become like the old set of people. So that's one thing you could do. Another thing you could do, if you're in sales, you could pick up the phone and you could call people. You could pick up the phone and call people. There's nothing wrong. I've picked up the phone and I've called people that I didn't talk to for like a year because of life. Life is just life in, and then you didn't have a chance. They were busy, you were busy. One day you pick up the phone, you call them and you say, hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. And some people are very happy to hear from you. If you left that conversation with, like, on a good foot, they'll be very happy to hear from you. And those are two easy ways that you could start to re-engage your list. So pick up the phone and call, or you could send them emails letting them know of your future plans, how you plan to serve them, and what they need to do to stay in touch with you, so that they could get the benefit of your vision when you start to implement it. So that's what you do.
Wow. You know, my goal today for you guys, and I hope y'all share this out. Please share this out. My goal is to really get as much information out of Junior as I possibly can for you guys. Like, I'm going to give him the questions that you all have been praying to get answers to. So if you have a question, it looks like Junior is being very open this morning. So please put those
Yeah.
questions in the comments, because he's probably going to answer them for you. So here's my next question, something that I think a lot of people are wondering about. And I think we can add some perspective to this. There are high ticket sales, there's low ticket offers, and then there's ascension models. Now, guys, we're about to pivot into sales now, because a lot of people are looking to make more sales. If you want more revenue, need more revenue, is looking to expand revenue, please put a 5 in the chat, because everybody's looking to generate more income so that they can have a bigger impact. Now, in order to do that, you've got to sell. So Junior, if you could talk a little bit
Yeah.
about strategy here. What is the strategy between combining certain high ticket offers with low ticket offers and an ascension model? Because we see it all the time. Hey, we've got this low ticket thing going, and it could be a seminar. Then we've got these webinars, and then we got all this stuff, and then you see these high ticket offers. You got to qualify in order to even get on a call. Like, what's the strategy behind that? What's happening when people are using these strategies, and how can we use them to get more sales in our business?
Okay, so that's like a multi-layered question. So I'm gonna do my best to answer that. All right, so we have to sort of recognize what we're dealing with. So that's the first thing. Like I want you guys to step back for a moment. So forget about funnel, forget about all that. Let's look at what you're actually dealing with. Okay, so literally all you have is you have what's called a conversion mechanism. Some people call it a funnel, some people call it a strategy call. A conversion mechanism is something that's meant to convert. Very simple. It could be a sales page, it could be a funnel, it could be a webinar. Now, there are different conversion mechanisms that are suitable for different occasions. So, for example, you don't sell high ticket from an email. Like if I'm going to spend, let's say, $5,000, I want to talk to somebody. I don't want to pay for something for $5,000 for an email. I want to see a face. I want to know who's selling me something for 5K. Okay, 5K and up. So what you notice is that in, let's say, something like a webinar. So webinars are typically made to sell high ticket items. So webinars and closing calls. Okay. So why is that? The reason that is because research has shown that the more time somebody spends with you, the more likely that they are to spend more money. So that's why back in the day, we used to have these long webinars, maybe like 3 hours. Like for every hour somebody spends with you, they're most likely to spend like $1,000. So put it like that. So if you have a 3 hour webinar and somebody stayed all the way through for like 3 hours, you can bet like they're gonna spend like 2.5, 3K with you if they've spent the entire time. All right. So that's what's going on with the webinar. As far as the closing calls are for anything that is super high ticket, like $10,000 and up. You get on a closing call. And sometimes for something that's 5K, you get on a closing call because customers interpret it as a lot more risky and they need the help of a professional to guide them in the right direction. So that's where your sales come in. By the way, so sales is a conversion mechanism. You talking to somebody is another conversion mechanism, whether it's through the phone or it's through Zoom. It's the same thing. Now, when you look at a low ticket offer, there are multiple strategies with low ticket offers. I've seen low ticket offers that cost $1.83. Why did they do that? The answer is everybody's funnel and everybody's purpose is different, but I'm going to give you a couple reasons why somebody might do that. All right? So it might be different from for Bobby, might be different for Bradley, might be different for Michelle. But the reason you want to do that, even if you offer something for let's say $1, is because a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. It means that the quality of lead is higher quality because they're coming in as a buyer's lead. That's what you refer to. You refer to them as a buyer's lead, meaning that they're comfortable pulling out their card and spending money. Even if it's $1, they're comfortable. They've made the first yes. So then you have another strategy which is called the self-liquidating offer. Okay, so self-liquidating offer is where you basically get leads for free. So one of my heroes, Dan Kennedy, legendary marketer, he has this saying that the person who could afford to spend the most money to acquire a lead wins. Now, to the people who are not marketers, that doesn't make sense. That makes absolutely zero sense. What do you mean? Like most people, when they think about lead generation, their thing is how can I spend the least amount of money to get the most amount of leads? Dan Kennedy says, if you could spend the most money to acquire a lead, then you win. So, what does that mean? Enter the self liquidating offer. So, a self liquidating offer is typically a low ticket offer, maybe like $47 or $97, in which a lead goes through a funnel, they come through an ad or something of that sort, and then they're buying something for a low ticket that normally leads into an upsell. or downsell. So for example, you might have a low ticket offer on the first page for $47. Let's say Michelle goes through the offer, 47 for a book. She buys the book. On the next page, there's something else for like 97. So it says, "Hey Michelle, before you go, since you bought the book, would you be interested in coming to the event?" So we have an event design around the book where we're gonna have some other high performing women in the room, okay? And we're gonna go through the chapters of the book together. And as you know, reading is no fun on your own. If you read it for a group, it's a lot more fun. So it's like $97. If Michelle buys that, Michelle has effectively paid for the cost to acquire her. There's something called cost of customer acquisition, meaning how much are you spending to acquire a lead? Okay, so watch the math. So let's say I'm doing Facebook ads. I spend $97 to get a lead. Michelle comes through the ad. She spends 47 on the first page. She spends 97 on the next page. If that's all she spends, I've netted $47, which means that I've acquired a lead for free, and in this case, at a profit. Does that make sense?
This is
Guys, let me
really
know if you're following me. Put a number free because okay, if I spend $97 to get a lead and the lead buys something for 97, it means that I paid zero. I didn't spend any money net. Now I want you to imagine if you could get 1,000 leads at 97 and get them all to spend 97, it means that you've just generated 1,000 leads for free. And then anything they buy is just pure business profit. So that's why you see a lot of, you know, so there's a lot of like free book offers. So you notice that like get my book for free. And then when you buy it, there's something else on the other page saying, well, this thing only costs $27. And then let's say Joel buys a thing for 27, he goes to another page. Oh, Joel, by the way, did you know that we have this limited time offer for 97? Da, 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 da. Joel buys that. Now Joel becomes free. So they've acquired Joel for free. And let's say Joel buys something high ticket, then it's all pure profit. Now, here's the key. Here's the key. If I could acquire a lead for free, Bobby, if I have a system where every single time I put in $1,000, I get, let's say, 10,000 leads, and then I don't spend, it's like net zero. How many times would you invest $1,000? Think about it. You would invest $1,000 like infinitely, okay? Like you would never stop because that means it's like a lead machine. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Because I'm not spending money. I'm making the money back. So I'm not at a deficit, which means I could continue to do it again and again and again and again and again. And that's why you see like influencers, they have lists of like 3 million people, 5 million people on a list.
Yeah.
Like there are influencers with like 10 million people on a list
You
because
know,
they can afford to spend that.
really quickly, Junior, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to know on the back end, can you see the Ultimate Brand Challenge banner? I should have asked you before because people are going to want to get in on
Oh,
this. They're going to want to get
oh
in on
yeah.
this. Guys, like, I just need you all to know, like, this is what we're going to be going through. I believe is the 18th to the 22nd. Like, so if
Yes,
you're
sir.
enjoying this, like, if you're like, oh, okay, this is strategy. Oh, okay, this is systems. Oh, okay, this is sales. Like, that's what that link is up for, and that's what that link is about because this is just the tip of the iceberg. So please, Junior, if you have more,
Yeah.
I'm writing down my next stuff so that I can keep, helping the people this morning. Floor is all yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, guys. So I put the link at the bottom. By the way, so it's free to join. So Bobby, it had a cost. We decided to make it free. So it's actually free to join the challenge, but there is a VIP. The VIP is paid. So it's a paid VIP. I think VIP is like $297, but you can participate for free. So guys, if you want to build your brand, if you want to spend 5 days with myself and Mr. Sean Raiz and Bobby and our phenomenal team, like the only cost is your time. Okay, so let me just rephrase that. Technically it's free, but success is not free. You have to pay attention. So if you're coming, even if you didn't pay money to come in, you have to pay attention. All right. So just wanted to put that in there. But yeah, Bobby, like that's how you do it, man. That's why, but every strategy is different. You have to design a strategy that works for your business. But those are some of the reasons behind why you see, so like you see people like Russell Brunson. who's a legend in my eyes. He is always giving away like get this book for free. And trust me, he's a master when it comes to funnels. So when you go for a Russell Brunson funnel, you get in the book for free, or he'll say free plus shipping, right? So free plus shipping, that's a very famous one, but that's what you call a self-liquidating offer. So you get the book for free, you pay for shipping, but normally the shipping is normally added in. Like the cost of the book and the shipping is normally already, calculated, and then there's other stuff on the back end that makes it profitable for him.
Yeah. Wow. So this, like, to really leverage this, I believe each individual should just write down how much money they're trying to make this month.
Yeah.
And then as you write down that number, just start going back and listen to everything that you just said for the past like 4 or 5 minutes, because it'll get the juices turning. It'll get the hamster wheel turning, it'll get the juices flowing, because I guarantee you, you have the solution to your revenue problem in some capacity. And what you just might have needed was some direction. Like, how should I be thinking about this? And that just showed you how to think about high ticket offers, how to think about self-liquidating offers, how to think about low ticket offers. And now it's all up to you to figure out how you need to work those together to hit that number, because that's really all it is. So my next thing for you, Junior, well, let's go to a break. I think they need some time to breathe. Let that sit for a minute.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So we'll be back right after this.
Confidence is key. Most of the people I work with, they have the education, the experience, and the expertise. We call those the 3 E's. But they're looking for the 3 I's: the income, the impact, and the independence. And I always tell them that the bridge between the 3 E's and the 3 I's is marrying your confidence to your competence. Most of the people I work with, again, have all of the competence in the world. What I help them do is get the confidence. The difference between sales and closing, I get this all of the time, guys. Closing is elegant. Closing is luxurious. Closing is the most profitable. Sales, high pressure tactics. No one associates car sales, right, the sleazy sales tactics, with closing, because closing is elegant. Closing is excellent. You have to be a professional in order to close deals. Listen, when you do this the right way, when you learn what we're going to teach you in here, your clients will be trying to close you, and they won't let you close them for low numbers. So you'll be able to heighten, increase your profitability, increase your visibility, increase your reach, and increase your impact in the marketplace, and be confident and comfortable charging higher prices than you ever thought possible to the right people who can actually pay for them, and then say thank you for closing them.
All right, guys. So we are back. Bobby, before we get into it, let me just talk a little bit about the challenge. So, what is the theme of the challenge? The theme of the challenge is basically to help you strategize, systematize, and scale your business. So, this is like for beginners, but it's also for people who are a little bit more advanced. Um, out of all of the people that I've spoken to, they always tell me they need 2 things. It's always 2 things. It's either they need more leads or they need more systems. That's it. They need more money or they need systems. If that's you, put a number 1 in the comments. If you need one or both of these things, okay. So either you need more money, meaning you need more leads, you need to learn how to close, etc., or you need systems, like you don't know what the back end looks like. Okay, I've been building like the back end systems for a very long time. Okay, so we're gonna show you how to build that. We're gonna talk about branding you. We're gonna talk about remote teams. We're gonna talk about authenticity marketing, which in my opinion is the only way to market anyways. We're gonna talk about your name, your image, your likeness, and we're also gonna talk about leadership. Okay, we're gonna talk about strategic leadership like Mr. Joel Smith. Okay, so this is 100% free. If you already registered, phenomenal job. Just share it with a family member. By the way, this is like family friendly, so you could bring your family with you. And let me tell you something, Bobby, something I recently learned, okay, is you have to bring your family with you on this journey. Okay, there's nobody that I know that's super successful that does not take their family. This is child friendly, this is family friendly, cousin, mother, father, whatever, every single person is welcome to the challenge. So it's not something where you have to separate yourself for 5 days. Absolutely not. Bring your family with you, share to your like your friends, your classmates, etc., former colleagues, people at the workplace. Just bring everybody because it is for everybody. Okay. And it's free. The only cost, the only investment is their time and their attention. All right. And of course, if you want more, go up to the VIP, but it's not necessary. You could absolutely enjoy it, from the comfort of your home with everybody you love for 100% free.
Wow. More for free than you can get for a fee in the spirit of Shaan Rais. So as we get into this next piece, it's multi-layered, but again, guys, I want Junior to go deep with you all without losing anyone. So we're going to go a little bit deeper as we go back into the marketing side of the house. And I know you just recently finished $100 million offers by
Yeah.
Hermosi. And one of the questions that I want to pose to the people, but I want to preface this first. I want to get people in the right frame of mind. A lot of people are posting, but they're not profiting. They're putting
Okay.
things up there, but like the messaging's just not connecting. So this next question has to do with how they can actually craft messages that fit their ideal client's narrative. How do they work through this process? So here's what I want you to address really quickly, Junior, if you don't mind. Value propositions, like how to structure a value proposition, the offer itself, how to structure the offer, and then the messaging. So, how should these entrepreneurs and business owners be thinking about one, the value proposition, by the way, comes first. It's from the value proposition that you craft the offer, and then it's from the offer that you shape the messaging so that it can connect with your ideal client. So, if you could help people get message to market fit, I think that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me think of the best way to answer that. So let's start with the market. So Dan Kennedy says that there are three pillars to marketing. So there are three things that you absolutely have to get right for marketing to work. Number one is the market. So the market is the audience. You have to understand your audience, or otherwise just doesn't work. You have to understand the message, and then you have to understand your media. So media means, how are you putting out your message? So media is your video, your photo, your podcast, etc., etc. Now, if I were in the shoes of the audience, I would start with the one variable that doesn't change, which is the market. Okay, you can tweak your messaging, you cannot tweak the market. The market. It just is. It doesn't care, whatever you say, it doesn't care how you feel, it's just the market, right? It's like it's agnostic, okay? So you have to understand your market. So the question is, who are you targeting? Okay? That already exists. You don't have to change that. Okay? Then the question becomes, do you understand that person thoroughly? So you have to understand who you're talking to thoroughly. Okay. Now, when we do sales copy, there's a specific process we go through where we build an ideal client profile first to make sure that we understand our market, and then we build a message. Okay. So your market already exists, meaning that their needs and their wants already exist. The biggest mistake that I see business owners making is trying to give a market what they want to give them, not giving the market what they're asking for. So business is giving people what they want when they want in a style that they want at a reasonable price. So you have to know what they want. Otherwise, you can't give it to them. And that want already exists and it's indifferent to you, meaning that whether you are here or not, the want will exist. So the first step is to find out what do they actually want. So who is that market? What do they want? Okay, that's the first thing. Now, when you look at an offer, all right, when you look at an offer, the offer should be magnetic, meaning that the offer should literally be reverse engineered based on the needs and the wants of the audience. So when I design an offer, first thing I do is I build an ideal client profile. Then from that profile, I look at, okay, what are the frustrations of the audience? What do they actually want? What are their needs? And then I reverse engineer the parts of my offer to literally match that. So, for example, I'll use you as an example, Bobby. So let's say there are business owners. Let's say they want to grow their business. They want to grow their business, pay less taxes. They want to secure more funding. Let's just say like these three for simplicity. If that is the need, that is the want, like in your offer, the messaging for your offer should literally say, learn how to grow your business, discover the secrets to pay less taxes, and also learn how to, what was the food one I said? Do you remember the
Grow their
food one?
secure funding.
Oh yeah, and learn the secrets to securing, funding. That's literally it. Like you literally take what they want and you just reverse engineer it to build the offering. Now, once you're done with that, you figure out, well, how can I deliver that? Okay, so what is the format for delivery? Okay, so is it going to be a course? Is it going to be coaching? Is it going to be speaking? Will it be training? You get to decide how you deliver the promise. Okay, literally. So it's very simple. Like if in your profile it says I want to learn how to get more clients, literally you just take that and you just put in front of it, in my course you will discover the secrets to attract more clients. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so simple. But here's the key. You have to actually be able to do that. Okay? And you have to figure out, well, how will I deliver that? Will I deliver that in the form of a course? Will I deliver that in the form of a training program? Will I deliver that in the form of speaking, coaching, consulting, etc., etc.? Okay? And then once you do that, you put out what's called a lead magnet. Now, the way I like to do lead magnets is I like to give the first two steps in the offer. So, for example, the offer might have 5 steps. So let's say, Bobby, going back to you, like your program was teaching them how to grow their business, how to secure funding, and also how to pay less taxes. Your lead magnet would be something that helps them to take the first step out of the three. So when they take the first step, their next logical step is to take the second step. But to take the second step, they have to come into the program. Why does this work? This works because past value is an indicator of future value. If someone has worked with you in the past and you've given them value, they can correctly estimate that in the future, if I work with him again, I'm most likely to get value. Okay. And also, you've proven competence. All right. So that's how you do it. Now, when we look at a unique selling proposition, or what you call, use a specific term, use a value proposition. Is that what you said?
Yep, same thing,
Okay.
guys.
So, value proposition, what does this actually mean? So, value proposition means, why should I do business with you as opposed to all other options, including doing nothing? Meaning, why should I do business with Bobby? Why should I build my business, figure out how to pay less taxes and all of that when I can watch Netflix? Because you are competing with Netflix and everything else on the internet, just so you know. It's not only your competition. So the value proposition answers the question, why should I do business with you as opposed to all other options, including doing nothing? Now, there's a process that I use to get there. Okay. I don't just say, well, this is why you do business with me. No, it starts with research. Okay. So in the research phase, you're looking for something called a USP. This USP is called a universal selling proposition. So everybody write this down. It's called a universal selling proposition. A universal selling proposition means, what is the one thing or the things that every single one of my competitors are already doing that I need to do in order to compete? So I'll use the simple example of French fries. If you want to open a fast food chain, you better offer French fries. Can you imagine going to a fast food chain and they don't offer French fries? Or you could, let's say, like cream. So let's say you're opening like a coffee shop. There are some coffee shops that give you like free cream. So let's say you move into a town, there's like 5 coffee shops. If you get coffee there, they all offer free cream. That becomes a universal selling proposition. If you open a coffee shop and you don't offer free cream, immediately people are like, well, why would I go there? Because I can go to five other places and get cream for free. Why would I come here and pay for it? So that becomes a universal selling proposition. Once you know that, you need to know the second USP, which is the unique selling proposition. The unique selling proposition for the competitors means what's different about all of them. So if there are five coffee shops, what is different about every single coffee shop? So what do they do that is unique? What's the difference between coffee shop A, coffee shop B, coffee shop C, right? And D, E. Okay, so you need to know that. Then you need to know for you, what are you exceptionally good at? So, Bobby, what makes you stand out from other tax professionals, from other, you know, I'm not asking you, I'm just saying, like for everybody, what are you exceptionally good at? Are you exceptionally good at speaking, branding, design? Maybe you're a better designer, etc., etc. Maybe you're a better strategic thinker. Once you know what you're exceptionally good at, now it's time to build your value proposition. So you're saying, okay, all of them do this, which I offer as well. And this is what makes me stand out from every single person. And this is what I'm exceptionally good at. And then you're deciding, how will I differentiate myself? Will I help my clients save more money? And I think there are only 6 ways to differentiate yourself, by the way. So, in other words, you could save people more money, you save them time, you save them effort, you provide a dying need, you fulfill a secret desire, or you provide a phenomenal experience. That's it. There are only like 6 ways. I'll say that again. You save people money, you save people time, you save people effort. So Uber is convenience, saves you time. You provide a dying need. So there's a need in the market that's not being fulfilled. You provide a secret desire. So maybe there's a secret desire there that no other person is fulfilling. And then after that, you provide a phenomenal experience. The way you differentiate yourself could be one or combination of any of those 6 things. And now comes the interesting part. How do you communicate that in a way that is simple and attractive? And
Right.
I'll use the example of Domino's, because even if you know all this stuff, you still have to be able to say it in a way that's simple, that makes sense. So you notice, like when I speak and when I teach, I use stick figures, okay? Literally, I use stick figures and I talk in a very simple way so that everybody can understand, okay? So you still have to find a way to communicate that in a way that's very simple and people just get it. So I'll use the example of Domino's. So Domino's says that, or when they originally came out, their unique value proposition was fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or it's free. Now let's dive into that. They said fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or it's free. So they're combining the fact that they're saving people time. There's convenience in there because they're delivering it to you. They're doing it faster than their competitors, which saves people time. And they have a guarantee in there saying that, or really just a challenge. They're saying, challenge us, try us. If we don't get this pizza to you in 30 minutes, it's free. That's like a perfect example because it combines, saving people time. It combines convenience or saving people effort. And also, there's a guarantee in there. Guarantee is a bonus. You don't have to do it, but it's a bonus. So that's how you do that, Bobby. If you can do all of the things I mentioned, then you could build an attractive value proposition.
Yeah. Guys, as we come to a close this morning, put some flames in the chat for the questions. Put some flames in
Yeah,
the chat
Bobby, those are good questions, man.
because Junior's
Those are good questions.
his answers have been on fire. I've been seeing the comment section lighting up. I can tell that people are learning from this. I'm going to do my best to sneak one more question in there and see if he can
Yeah.
answer it in 3 minutes.
Okay.
This particular question. So let's take it back to the brand. Let's take it back to the
Yeah.
brand. So if you are building a personal brand and you are trying to do this on multiple platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we know to put the world on notice. How would you suggest an individual show up authentically on all of these different platforms, because they're talking to, so to speak, different people? Is they're almost talking to the same audience but on a different platform? I see Shaan on all of these platforms, and on some he's doing reels, on some he's got flashes, on others he's got still photos, on other ones he's just going live. So is there a method to the madness? And I'll restate the question more clearly. If I'm building a brand, how should I think about expressing an authentic personal brand on multiple mediums? Is there anything that I need to consider?
Hmm. That's an interesting question, Bobby. So the premise of authenticity is being yourself. So I was just talking about this yesterday. There's a fine line between being intentional and being authentic. You could be very intentional and not be authentic because you're trying to impress the audience. My That's not my thing. Like, I'm not trying to impress an audience. Like, in my opinion, like, I want to build a brand that I like. you know, I want to build because it's me, right? It's me. So I want to build something that I like. And then if people like it, then that's amazing too. And if some people won't, then that's fine as well. So my approach to that is like, just be you, and then the audience will adapt. They will know when you're being you. Like, I wouldn't try to put on a show like I'm one person on Facebook and I'm another person on LinkedIn and nah. Like, there's a difference between like formulating your content based on the needs of the platform. So for example, I might put out a picture post on Facebook, but I might say that same thing in a blog on LinkedIn, but it doesn't mean that I'm being a different person. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I'm being a different person. Like, just be yourself, okay? Just be yourself. Don't try to be a different person. Um, but at the same time, you have to be very conscious of like how the platform looks at content. So if I put a blog on Facebook, like, Facebook will push it all the way down. If you put a reel on your timeline, it will push it all the way down. If you put a reel in your reels, it will push it up. So you have to know how the platform interprets different styles of content. But as far as the question, Bobby, like, just be yourself, be authentic, be real. I had somebody ask me the other day, and I know we're getting ready to wrap up. I had somebody ask me the other day, like, is it okay? Like, can you take off the suit? Can you do this? Can you do that? I said, absolutely. Like, you can take off the suit, like, because you're branding you, you're not branding the suit. And guess what? Once you've established yourself as the brand and you can represent in the mind of the market what you want to represent, so whether that be leadership, etc., you can wear whatever you like. Like, building a brand is not about what you wear, it's about who you are. And I would say just be authentic, be real to you. People resonate with authenticity. You're not a perfect person. I'm not perfect. None of us are. Show your flaws. Let people know what you're doing and take people on a journey, and they will understand. People will love you for it. Some people won't like you. But guess what? They're probably not your audience, anyways. Okay. So it doesn't matter. All right. So we'll wrap up here for now, Bobby. But I will be coming back to Breakfast with the Brand. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll pop in. If I can, I'll answer some more questions. Of course, I will be there on Saturday, and I believe Mr. Joel Smith, the strategic leader, will be joining us. But Bobby, that's it for me, man. Do you have any closing comments? And by the way, guys, thank you. I see all the amazing comments. I just didn't get a chance to read everything. Shout out to Lawana, Bradley, Charmaine, Michelle, Joel, everybody else. I see you.
No, Junior. All I can say is, guys, this is one to replay. This is one to share out. This is one to tag somebody on. We cover branding. We cover messaging. We cover marketing. We cover sales. Like, clinic, Junior. Thank you. Phenomenal.
You're welcome, sir. All right, guys, speak soon and let's grow. Make sure you sign up for the challenge and also bring your friends as well. It's free to attend. Of course, we have VIP, but the only cost of investment is your time and your attention. Let's grow.